Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and I want to welcome our guest tonight, Raphael Moran from the Geeky Dad Podcast. Hello, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on the show again.
It's so good to have you here, as always. It's been a minute. I was away in San Francisco all last week, so like I said, it's good to get back to doing some podcasting, get on the mic again. I missed it.
How's the weather over there in San Francisco?
San Francisco was beautiful. I'm in Boston right now. It's hot as hell, but like San Francisco was like high 60s, early low 70s all week.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. It was the only thing I was not happy to leave. Other than that, I was to get back home, back home to my wife and to my son. I've never been away from them that long. I was gone for a whole week, so that was it was a little weird. My son's too. I've never been away from him even overnight. Let alone, so the first time I do it, it's a whole week. That really messed me up for a while. But I'm back now, and can't wait to spend time with him this weekend. I got to work on the weekend, but when I'm not working, it's gonna be all him. All him. So
you got to cherish these moments when they're small like this. You know,
you do. You really do. It's fast. It goes by quick. I blinked and he's two. So they're like talking big sentences now and saying. He's not yet. He's working on it, but he's grunting a lot and making a lot of new noises all the time.
Mine is 3 right now, and it's like he repeats everything that you say.
Yeah, so
that includes curse words. Okay,
right? Yeah, you have to watch that. You have to watch that, right? So that's what they say. Like you wait for you can't wait for to hear them talk and hear the sound. Then it's like, oh my god, who wound it up? Why did I teach you how to speak?
Yeah, he's calling me Raphael.
Oh boy. Not a good day. Yeah. That's a tough one to retrain them. Like, no, that's not okay. So
yeah.
That's pretty cool. So tonight we're gonna be talking about Prey.
Yes.
The new Predator sequel / prequel, really. I mean,
reboot.
The reboot, wherever you want to. Is that what they're thinking it as a reboot? Because
yes.
I mean, it's obviously takes place well before any of the other Predator movies. We're back in basically colonial times, right? Like, really before the nation became a nation and different people were still trying to come into America. Essentially, what will become America, and the natives, all the indigenous people were here,
right? Yeah,
and it's how they're kind of messing with them and taking over and treating them like unfortunately like savages as they did. And during this whole mix is a Predator comes down and starts causing hell. But
starts fucking everything up.
Big time, right? Like really taking a town. But
right, yeah,
we have a new hero in this movie, and I gotta tell you, she is incredible.
Pretty badass girl, huh?
Really, really badass. So let's give her a name, Amber. And Mid Thunder, right? She plays Naru. So she is and the acting I thought all over the board was really, really well done out of everybody. But
and a great dog too.
The dog was super cool. So, but I mean, she held that movie. You know what I mean? Like she really did an amazing job.
She's like, the Ripley of a new generation.
Yeah, she really was. I mean, she's done some stuff. She got about 31 acting credits to her name.
She was in Legion.
Yep, she was in Legion.
She was a mutant on that show.
Yeah, she was in the Roswell, New Mexico TV series. She's done some stuff. Right? Yeah. She's done a few things, but not like a long career per se.
She's gonna have a big career now, though.
I think so. I hope so. I think you're right, but I really do hope so. Like I push for that because she was incredible. She was fierce.
Whenever anybody gets big in Hollywood, it's like, okay, who are you gonna play, Marvel or DC? Yeah, that's always the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody online are talking about her as X-23.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is the synopsis, right? The origin story of the predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Nero's skilled warrior fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth.
Speaking of the predator,
yeah,
the mask is totally different again.
Very different, right? Because it's one of the first. I mean, like super cool. I like the way they went with it. It was more.
Now, what was that? The skull of an alien creature, or a creature from Earth?
That's a great question, right? Because he already has it when he gets here,
right?
You know what I mean? So like, it's already on the head, and it's got like the technology built into it.
It doesn't look like any creature I've seen on Earth.
I mean, at best, like the front of it maybe almost like a wolf teeth or something like that. But no, it really did because of how wide and flat the head was.
And once again, when they take off the mask, the face looks totally different again.
Yeah, they definitely played with it a little bit. So, it's a less evolved, but certainly the technology-wise. But even the technology, like the shield he was using, looked a little bit more... less put together, right? Not as refined.
Right.
Some of the technology.
I heard the official name for this predator is called the feral predator.
So we're looking at something definitely more,
less evolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because in the new movies, they are genetically enhanced by the creatures they hunt.
Right. And so this one was definitely, before all that happened. And I don't know, just going over the movie, like, going back, it was just an amazing take on it. I thought, it was incredible the way they did that. I like the idea of it. And we've seen so many Predator movies, Predator versus Alien, we've gone over so many of them now. How do you make it fresh? How do you make it new? I thought this was an amazing idea of how to make it fresh. So now it kind of opens up that door. Right.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep going future. We can go past in different eras.
I heard at one point Robert Rodriguez had pitched a predator on a pirate ship with conquistadors and the Fountain of Youth.
So, I mean, obviously, we can't spend 2 hours on a pirate ship.
No.
That ship would not last very long, right? It would just be a quick 10 minutes and everybody would be dead. So, they would have to be.
They probably land on the soil and they get hunted one by one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Maybe they're hunting for the gold or something like that, and the predator's there, and maybe it uses it for its technology or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it definitely opens the door. You could do it in Roman time. You could do it in the Renaissance period. You could do it.
Samurais. I want to see samurais versus predators.
Yes, right. I mean, you're opening up the world of think about comic books and all the different places,
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't the predator in Archie's universe at one point,
right. Yeah.
On film, but you can do all that kind of stuff now that you've opened this up, and it doesn't always have to be future, distant planet fighting a xenomorph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what did you think of the way? The different, you saw some of the stuff coming because she's practicing with her tomahawk basically and trying to use it as there's a martial arts weapon that uses it, but it's a spear at the end of a rope. She was using like that. We've never seen anybody use it with the tomahawk before, which was just incredible.
She just invented that. Yeah.
She invented it, right? And she was definitely the most fierce fighter in her whole community. And what did you think of basically her weapons against his and how she was able to take him out?
Well, she had help. She didn't do it alone.
No.
And the gun did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But she was able to adapt, and that was a good thing about her because the fact that she picked up how to use that flint gun so fast, that was pretty amazing.
And we complain about that sometimes. I know on my show especially we do that when the learning curve on a weapon or something like that is super short.
Yeah, but they showed that she messed up at first.
Yeah, and that one for some reason, I don't know, maybe because the way I was caught up in the movie itself, that didn't bother me. But
speaking of that flint gun, I was just rewatching the movies recently, and that's the same gun from Predator 2.
That's the one that Danny Glover gets, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I read the inscription. It says 1715, and Raphael was the guy that she was talking to, the interpreter,
right.
that gave her the gun, and it's the same inscription on the gun that Danny Glover had.
So okay, so now how do the aliens get that gun?
Right. And at the end of this movie, if you stay past the credits, it showed 3 ships coming back down.
That's right. So maybe that's how they get it.
Right.
Leading into hopefully a sequel.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest movie of Hulu's history, so they're definitely going to do a sequel.
They're definitely going to do a follow-up, so that asks the question then, do you want a sequel to this particular movie? And like, we're back at it again with her and the
I would, actually. I would.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because that's one of the things I didn't like about the other Predator sequels. You didn't see any like returning characters. I wanted to see Arnold come back.
Or Danny Glover, or something.
Even Danny Glover. Danny Glover should have been in that Predators movie on the planet.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you think there's enough meat on the bone to do another one with this particular
possible
period?
Possible.
I think the movie is so strong that I fear they're not gonna. When they do a sequel, it'll not necessarily Wonder Woman 1984, but something we're like, that just didn't pay enough honor to the first one. The first one's so strong.
Right.
We try to bite.
I don't think it's going to be as good as this one. But,
so that's what I mean. Like, do we dishonor this first one by creating another one of the same time period?
But if they bring back the same team, I would trust that, because that's one of the other problems with the Predator sequels. They kept changing writers and directors and everything. They didn't have like a cohesive vision.
Right. No, I agree. Hopefully we get somebody at this, some of the same team, the writers and directors, to create a second one. But I would like to see it more like on the lines of the Assassin's Creed games.
Right. Yeah.
Everything they do with it, they're searching.
In the comics, when a human, especially a female, defeats a predator, they usually have that human or person join their ranks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So. I wonder if that will happen. She'll actually join them, in a hunt.
That would be cool. That would be cool. So when the 3 ships come down, they realize that she took out the Predator and now she's with them.
Right, right.
That would be an interesting take. I would go with that. With that versus them just trying to attack them again, and now
it'll be different.
It'll be different. Predators trying to take her out.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just blowing it up like bigger is better, and that's not always true. But if you're changing the rules and now she's on the hunt with them, that would be kind of cool.
They played a little bit with that with the Alien versus Predator movie, where the girl was teaming up with the Predator.
Sure. Everybody needed to take out the xenomorphs at that point. They were a threat to everybody. Yeah.
And I wonder if they'll ever do another Alien versus Predator movie.
I hope they revisit it. I enjoyed the comic series, and I just don't think they did enough justice to it. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of got hope for the new Alien TV show now on FX.
Oh, are they doing? I haven't followed. They're doing a series.
Yeah, they're doing a series, and the aliens are going to be on Earth this time. In the future.
Okay. In the future, of course. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Interesting.
So I wonder how they're gonna pull that off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's such a fantasy thing, sci-fi fantasy. You can do just about anything, right? And you almost don't have to stick to any kind of logic, if you will. When you're dealing with a sci-fi movie, you can throw all kinds of pseudoscience and then crazy shit in there, and people will take it as long as the movie's good and the script is strong.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I kind of wish that we didn't know this was going to be a Predator movie beforehand. I wanted to be surprised when seeing the movie.
Yes, because I was surprised when I heard, I saw the word, and I was like, "Oh, it's Prey. That looks kind of cool." There's some indigenous and people and things like that, and they're hunting. So, obviously, then you see the green, like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then all of a sudden, you saw the actual predators, like, oh, it's a Predator movie, a different looking Predator, but a Predator movie. That was kind of cool. That was a shock, but I agree. Here's the problem. Would you have watched it necessarily if you don't know? No, maybe you have, maybe I would.
I would. I mean, if they kind of like if they marketed like how they did Apocalypto,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. that they would have got some viewership, and then the word of mouth would have got out there in the internet.
Right.
Everybody knows a Predator movie before, so they must have just leaned into it. Like, all right, everybody's gonna spoil it anyway, and we'll just tell everybody it's a Predator movie.
So, do you think Predator is done being a theatrical franchise?
I'd be okay if it was, to be honest with you. I love the franchise. I watched this mostly on my iPhone, somewhat on my TV, and then I finished it up on the plane to San Francisco. That's where I finished it on my iPhone. I'll probably watch it again, like fully on my big, I don't know what a 72-inch TV, whatever the heck it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I'll probably watch it on that at some point because I think it deserves it. And do I think it deserves a big screen? Yes, I think it was a beautifully shot movie. The cinematography was outstanding. The scenery everywhere they were, the just incredible backdrops, incredible landscapes. I really think it deserves it. If they keep going,
I think it would have did a lot better than the other movies that came out.
There's been some out there, movies like even like Lightyear that didn't do so good in the theaters when they're like streaming really little until Lightyear stream just streaming really fast.
Yeah, speaking of Lightyear, that movie just brought out all of the whack jobs. I've seen so many people like online, it's destroying kids' lives. Don't show it to the kids.
Good Lord, do people take things too seriously? It's a freaking Pixar movie.
Oh my God, it's like
people need to unclench and get new.
What are you gonna do if you see two women holding hands on the street? Are you gonna cover your kid's face?
Really? Seriously, that's really what in the world, everything that's going on in this world.
I know.
That's what we have to worry about. Really?
I've seen so many because, when I did my review for Lightyear, I do a feature where I look for all the posts on Facebook that have the word Lightyear in it.
Yeah.
I tend to insert my show into various conversations and threads.
Yes.
And I saw most of the threads I saw.
I understand.
Right. Most of the threads I saw were all these religious nuts saying it's it's the worst thing to ever happen. It's like the devil's work or something like that.
That's what we will have time for. There's so many things that we could be doing as humanity to move us forward, and we just want to keep tearing ourselves backwards and deal with things that who cares really? This Pixar movie and people in real life.
And I saw the same thing for Turning Red.
What is it?
Turning Red, I saw so many religious nuts going crazy over that movie.
Why does that hurt them so much? Why does that hurt people so much? Why can't we leave people alone to do? They're not hurting anybody. They're not trying to hurt anybody. They're trying to just portray what is actually happening in real life, what really does happen. But when that stuff happens, it doesn't hurt anybody. You don't. It's not you. It's not what you do. You don't have to engage in it.
And I think Disney's just doing this on purpose, just to see. Okay, we'll every single movie we're gonna do a little bit more, just to see how we can piss you guys off.
I mean, they're pissing people off, or they're just trying to portray what's really out there and be inclusive.
Well, everybody. Yes, they're doing that too, but I think they're.
I mean, they know what they're
doing. If it was me, I would be doing it more boldly. That's what I would be doing, just to piss them off more.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have to to a certain degree. Which is unfortunate, but they have to a certain degree kind of keep it under control of what they're doing.
Certain
because at the end of the day,
certain countries ban this movie.
Right, and that's the point. If you make it really over the top, and by over the top, I mean honest to the way the world really is, you know what I mean, an actual real representation, you're going to get banned all over the place, and then you don't make money. At the end of the day, these movies are about making money.
And unfortunately,
it can be more about a moral story, life lessons, things like that, which is what they can be. But unfortunately, you can't speak that message if you get banned everywhere. And nobody will be able to see your movie that costs millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're not making any of it back because your largest markets, i.e. China and certainly, don't want to show your movie, and now you're not making any of that money back. Yeah. So you have to be super careful for anything. We were talking earlier when we did our Big Trouble in Little China episode, and Bruno, we were asking if can this movie be remade today? No, not this way. Certainly not this way. I mean, it was incredibly 1980 or stereotypical, insensitive towards Chinese and Asian people. You cannot do that because you will piss them off and you will not get seen in their market, and that's your largest market. So you can't do it that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to do it more Shang-Chi, which was very sensitive to the culture and tried to portray properly and didn't make anybody stereotypical, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of that movie,
stereotypical characters in that movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, they even make fun of the stereotypical stuff in that movie. You know?
Yeah. They put it out there light, you know.
You name me after a Mandarin orange, you know?
Yeah, look what they did with the Mandarin. Like, you kind of have to, you can't make it this, so pardon the expression, but this Fu Manchu looking.
Right.
It just doesn't play. It wasn't right back then, and it's certainly not right now. You know what I mean? You have to kind of move past that. Otherwise, you're not going to get the money back. So, because at the end of the day, it is about making money.
Yet, there's still the stereotypical Russian villains.
Yeah, apparently we don't care about pissing them off. You've not really cared about pissing them maybe that much.
Yeah.
Or the other point is, I think some cultures are just more they're more sensitive to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's okay. That's their choice if they want to be more sensitive to it. You know what I mean? As we know.
I'm surprised Black Widow had that like stereotypical Russian villain.
Yeah. But I guess that we don't care about pissing them off, or they're just not as sensitive to it. They're like, we don't care. Or they're not really expecting that to be a market we play in anyway. So why not? We'll just go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some other cultures are, I don't know of anything relatively that's been banned per se in Russia, but China happens all the time.
Yeah.
Movies get banned over there constantly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I heard in China, the Black Panther poster had the Black Panther with his mask on, and in America, he had his mask off in the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can't show him as the hero.
Right.
You know what I mean? Absolutely not. That's why, if you hear back in the day, the Green Hornet show in China was called the Kato show.
I know. Yeah.
Bruce Lee was, the big star, so they called it the Kato show.
Rightfully so, because he was the best thing on the show.
Sure, absolutely, but he wasn't the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but it is what it is. You gotta, play the ball where it lays, and understand your market, and Disney does. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna do what they can to get things in there. So, but anyway, back to Prey. We do love a tangent on this show. What did you think of like the whole? The brother was cool. The other people really ticked me off. Right?
Yeah.
It was a little. I get it.
I was glad that when they got slaughtered.
I know, right? Like I understand it was very realistic in terms of their prejudice towards her.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when she constantly proved herself better.
Right.
Like,
another thing.
All right. Like, maybe we should listen.
Yeah. Another thing, when the those French guys captured her.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little like in real times they probably would have raped her and like tortured her.
They couldn't go that far, but it would have been a lot worse. It would have been a lot.
I was like waiting for a scene where they were trying to attempt that, and then she like kills them to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't go there with it. I think it would have been very distracting to the movie.
I don't know. I kept on. That brought me out of the story a little bit because I was like, okay, that's not gonna happen.
I know you're absolutely right. They wouldn't have just stuck in the cage and done nothing. But
no,
I think for the
especially
movie,
there are a bunch of men that's been in the wilderness for a very long time.
Yeah,
and they're pretty much savages.
Yeah,
so
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But I think just like if you add that element into it, it throws the movie to a different, and you're not going to get the same rating.
I'm not saying that they actually rape her. I'm saying like they attempt to, and that would make them even more horrible looking in everybody's eyes. Yeah, and
they were pretty horrible though. They were pretty horrible. Yeah. They were pretty horrible people, and then tying them to the post so the predator would come and get them. Right, that was very like Jurassic Park for me. Like the T-Rex, the T-Rex wants to hunt, doesn't want to be fed. The predator is the same way; it wants to hunt.
Yeah, that was a pretty disturbing scene. Seeing all those buffaloes skinned,
Yeah.
I kind of it gave me a little bit of a nightmare. A little bit. I kept on seeing those eyes looking.
Yeah.
That was gross. Yeah.
I love the predator's technology. Yeah, even though it was definitely like a downgrade from the stuff we've seen before. Right, they haven't quite done everything yet, but
in 100 years or so, the Predator's technology did not really advance that much.
I mean, some of the stuff looked like it did, like his shield, and some of it looked a little. I mean, what I liked was the almost like the Whistler that uses. You know what I mean? To just kind of technology to hit the targets like really, really well, and it turns.
He didn't have his blaster. That was good because I always felt that was a cheat. I didn't like that.
But he's got those spears. He's got those spikes that turn on a dime. Like they curve. They don't just go straight. It's not just
right. Yeah.
My target. I'm aiming at that. It's pinpointing the target. Like it's there. It's like seeking. It's on there. So it sets the target and they find it. They find the target.
You think that Alien versus Predator stuff doesn't exist in this universe?
I don't know. I still want to say yes. I still think it should.
Because that would mean.
But when was that exactly? When did that take place in the overall timeline?
They started in thousands of years ago with the Aztecs with the pyramid.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. But those predators were more advanced than this predator.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like for all these hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah. So maybe they are doing a bit of a reboot. Maybe it is more. Like you said, maybe it is more of a reboot.
And in the ads, they were saying this is the Predator's first hunt on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, I think so maybe it is, maybe you're right. Maybe it is a new reboot to the series. And I wouldn't mind that. A refresh, new look at the whole series. And now we can kind of go from here and do more of these Hulu type movies on it. I'd be okay with that. It doesn't destroy the ones you've seen before. It doesn't knock them out of play. You can still go watch them. But now we just get a fresh look on it. We can keep going with this series. I think that'd be cool. I'd like that.
Now, in the movie Predators, there was an ancient sword that somebody had found, a samurai sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they, since this movie did a callback to Predator 2, what if the next one does a callback to that movie and we see
that's true. We do have the callback, so it would tie it into Predator 2.
Yeah. So what if we see like around that same timeline, 1700s, the samurais were pretty much they had a big empire around then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what if around that same time period we see the predators land on that side of the hemisphere,
But then that would make what they said on this one wrong, right? That this is their first.
Well, it would be after this. Right?
What time frame? Because this was 300 years ago.
Yeah, it can happen at the same time, but that's just a different part of the world.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back, but we got the 3 ships coming down, so we have to deal with that. But maybe they come to the other side. Sure, that's definitely possible. That's definitely possible. I did like one part I did like about this movie was the sort of lack of technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The ingenuity of them being able to take out a predator, even though that seems on the outside, you're thinking well, that's super impractical. He's got all this technology and they're not. They're just sitting there with a tomahawk and a bow and arrow and
a
gun. You know what I mean? Like there's just no possible way yet they do it. Which harkens back to me.
What if she ends up training predators how to hunt?
I don't think that's a great idea. It's a really good idea. I think they got most of it covered.
I don't know. She's pretty good at hunting, and
she was amazing.
Yeah,
she was really good. I really enjoyed her training sequences. And like I said before, the cinematography and the angles, when she's running and jumping, and she kind of vaults over the camera, things like that. That was real. That was really well done. It was it felt to me.
Cinematography was great in this one too.
Yeah, it felt as artistic of a movie as it did like an action sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They weren't just going for the cookie cutter sci-fi.
What I wish they had did was they didn't show the predator right away because we kind of saw the ship in the beginning. I wanted that to be revealed a little later. Take some time with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the reveal. I liked the reveal though.
Yeah.
His reveal, and when his cloaking technology would so that's I was going to mention his cloaking technology, which was super cool.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff in this movie seemed more, and this is a really stupid word to say about a movie like this, but realistic.
Right.
It's not a very realistic movie.
Well, I mean, the special effects are better because you look back in those old movies, you can tell like it's like green screen and it's like it looks weird.
Like, when he was going through the water, you could see where the cloaking technology was messing up.
Yeah.
You never really ever got to see that before. You could see
right.
hiccuping around his legs and stuff like that because it's hitting
modern
the
technology,
water.
Man. Modern technology.
Yeah, it was super cool. Like they paid way more attention to the details on this movie within more so than we've seen before. The first part of the movie was in the 80s, so the technology was what it was, and then obviously even the Danny Glover movie, wasn't that far off.
Think about this right now, okay? We are living in the year 2022, and what are some of the biggest things this year? Top Gun.
Yep.
Predator.
Yep.
Stranger Things is stuck in the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
What in the past, sir. We are absolutely in the past, and I'm okay with that because I'm a kid of the 80s, and I'm all right with that.
Cobra Kai, right?
Season 5, right?
Right, that's coming out.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Johnny Barnes back in it.
Batman's still around.
Batman, they're desperately trying to get him on screen. If they stop screwing that up, we can get him. Let's keep our fingers crossed. This Flashpoint crap movie that's going to come out.
Right.
The movie's going to be shit because of what's going on, but at least hopefully we'll get some Michael Keaton Batman. But let's Cobra Kai season 5. Let's briefly go.
Who needs a reboot? Ooh. Crocodile Dundee. Okay.
Really?
I think they can remake that with Hugh Jackman and make that really good.
I don't know. Being a kid of the 80s, I wanted them to leave it alone. But I think you're right. I don't know if it's Hugh Jackman or they get another unknown like Paul Hogan was, I
don't think you could go with an unknown. You got to go with a big A-list Australian guy.
But if you do that, does it get campy like that third one did? In Dundee in LA.
I don't know. They can probably up the adventure aspect of it a little bit,
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I feel like if they have to have an actor in there, it's going to be kind of like cutesy and campy and just not as honest as the first one was because you could do all these crazy things with this relatively unknown actor.
Right. Still, that's the last big franchise that hasn't been remade yet.
I just saw a thing today. They're doing a Ferris Bueller's Day Off offshoot.
Yeah, that's not the same, really.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do one. They're gonna do it. Ferris, I can't believe it.
There was talk of doing a sequel with Ferris now.
Yeah,
as an old guy.
Yeah,
and I think they did a commercial with that too. I don't know if you saw that commercial.
I did. I don't know. Do we need to see Ferris with like his kids being a pain in the ass?
I mean, I saw Corey Feldman. He was trying to pitch a Goonie sequel.
I could see a Goonie sequel.
Yeah.
Goonies sequel would be cool.
He said basically,
we just kind of. Did you see Uncharted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, they go get the pirate ships and they
right. We mentioned that in our latest episode on the Geeky Dad podcast. The kids was like, okay, that ship is just like the Goonies. They found it in a cave.
And they get a big helicopter to port them out, which would have just fallen apart, but whatever.
The only thing that was missing was, hey, you guys.
Exactly. And they had the big goofy guy to do it. They should have done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had the big Scottish guy. Yeah, Mark was, yeah. That was interesting. So I watched that on the plane coming back from San Francisco.
Right, yeah.
Then we landed before I could catch the ending, so I watched the rest of it today.
Speaking of that movie, it felt like Tom Holland was still in Spider-Man mode because he was doing Spider-Man poses in that movie. Did you feel like that?
Yes, he did. He did have a few of the little superhero landings and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, 3 movies. I guess it's kind of hard to get that out of your system.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean, you're gonna kind of see that in everything he does. But overall, I thought he did a great job.
Yes, he's a very charming young guy.
Yeah. Totally. And
he needs another franchise.
You hope they got away with it, but then they didn't. But they did get some gold at the end.
Right. Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Then the sort of like after credit scenes were a little strange for me, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely opens up for the sequel. So I hope they make a sequel out of it. I hope they do a sequel. It's a fun.
I don't know if you saw that Sandra Bullock movie, Lost City.
Not yet.
It felt like a total remake of Romancing in the Stone.
Oh, which I love that movie. I hope they don't ever actually remake Romancing in the Stone.
It felt like an exact remake of that movie.
but not actually a remake. But it felt like
it's like beat for beat almost. It's You tell me what the plot for Romancing Stone is.
Let's see. So you have the writer whose sister gets kidnapped because her husband did shady shit, and then she has to go down to save her in Colombia, and then all hell breaks loose, and she's trying to find her sister, and Jack Colton, the guy she's writing about, essentially comes and saves her to go, and then they go on the adventure to figure out.
That's basically the plot of this movie.
Nice.
She's a female romance writer. That ends up having the guy that she writes her out saves her.
Nice. Yeah, that's the same exact movie. That's the same exact movie. It really is. That's pretty sad.
And they have a short guy, but this time it's Daniel Radcliffe, instead of Danny DeVito.
How do you replace Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
He was great in that movie. Ira. That was really good. Yeah. I liked it.
The sequel, not so much. I didn't like the sequel.
The sequel was rough. I was not a huge fan of that one.
No.
I was not a huge fan. It didn't hold up to the first one.
No.
I don't think the writing was as strong. The story was definitely not as strong. It was kind of like they went to the well a second time, and they went to a different well and came up short. Yeah. It was just like, I watched it.
That's a very underrated movie from the 80s. A lot of people don't talk about that movie.
Romancing the Stone? No, I want to do it. I got to do an episode on it. It's on my list because it's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love the original one. They said I watch the original one over and over again. And every once in a while, I'll watch the second one.
Right. I only watch it if I see it on cable or something.
Yeah, if I see it's on and nothing else on. All right, I'll throw on Jewel and Isle. Not a problem. But yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's talk about Prey. Let's just wrap the Prey stuff up so we can talk about other stuff. What would you give it out of 10?
I'll give it a 9. Yeah, a 9.
9.
That was thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm right up there. I'll give it like a 9, maybe a 9.2.
Yeah,
9.2. Yeah. If you give it a rate, if you can rate there, I'd go with a 9.2. Knock my stuff around. I thought it was super strong. In the Predator sequel, in the Predator series, I'd probably go higher. Like as an just a Predator versus Predator movie. To me, it's going to be up there with the original. So I'm going to probably 9, 7. In terms of a Predator.
Definitely the best sequel out of all of them. Yeah,
absolutely, the most fun, the most original.
Yeah. I think we put the first one because of nostalgia.
Yep.
But it might be like in realistically it might be the best one.
You're not necessarily that far. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. The first one is the nostalgia, the Arnold pour. Get to the chopper. It could be the very free. That's what we're the first one so much. But
all that machismo, we will never get machismo like that again.
No. See the body Ventura,
especially when they hold hands and you see the muscle shots right there.
Yep. Did you hear that? Did you hear what Schwarzenegger did?
What?
Like it was this whole thing where Jesse the Body, he was always trying to compare.
Oh yes.
I saw that, and he's just
measuring the biceps, right?
Yeah, and Arnold was basically messing with them.
Yeah.
And came up short. But then when they actually went to compare it, he was bigger.
He was huge back then.
You got to let him have it for a day, and then you got to show him what's right.
He's still huge. I saw a recent picture, and he measured it. It was pretty.
Yeah, he's still working out. Was he 90? He's still working out. Still doing a good job at it. Doing better than me, that's for sure.
He's doing better than a lot of people.
Right. So yeah, all right. So Prey, I think that was it's definitely worth a watch, and I think it's worth a rewatch.
What do you think? You think they'll call the sequel Prey 2, or will they play with the words
I hope they do, because when they said Prey, like you said, you didn't really catch on immediately that it's a Predator movie. It's not like Predator, 300 years ago. It's not. I like that they're messing with it, and you see it in the movie that it's a Predator movie, but you don't have to always scream Predator, 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 right? I thought that was really well done.
I hate when they do sequels when they add the word "the" in front of it.
Yeah, the Prey or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Predator.
Yeah,
that was the last Predator movie. That's so confusing.
Suicide Squad.
Right, and then there was also the Fast and Furious.
Right.
I think that was the fourth one. I think right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost track after the third or fourth one. So
I hate when they do that. Yeah.
I have not watched the rest of that series. It's it's only so many times I can see a car jumping out of a building and landing on another building.
The fifth one is the best one. I think of that one.
To me, the first one. Well, nothing will beat the first one. Like I was like, after that, it's like, all right, it's people chasing cars. Got it. All right.
The first one was just like Point Break with cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. So, yeah. So what else is out there that you are looking forward to? Obviously, we have She-Hulk. You watched the first episode of She-Hulk.
Yeah. Sandman is pretty cool.
Sandman, I haven't watched that yet. I'm going to.
Paper Girls I've been watching.
Yeah, you said you like that one.
Let's see. I think that's all right now. Yeah.
So we talked about She-Hulk on your show. Talk to us about what you thought of the She-Hulk, the first episode.
It was funny. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of Marvel being too funny at the moment. The
TV shows have kind of gone the humorous route. I mean, definitely Miss Marvel was.
And even Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, we did our Thor 11th. I think that comes out next Tuesday. Yeah, we definitely went on how really heavy that what Taika Waititi leaned into the comedy aspect.
Yeah, I'm getting a little annoyed with Taika.
Okay. Yeah, listen to next Tuesday's episode. We go into a whole bend about being annoyed with him, and so that he's overblown.
You were talking about it in your Lightyear episode too, but
that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, we do it again in Thor, because it is true. I mean, he's a good director, but it's the same shtick.
It's a shtick. I mean? Yes, definitely a shtick. And I'm kind of worried about his Star Wars movie right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't want a funny Star Wars movie.
No, unless they make it a cartoon, I'm okay, or a Lego movie, I'm fine. Let him do a Lego movie. That's all right. It's meant to be funny. But yeah,
I like right now the tone of the Mandalorian. That's the tone I want for anything Star Wars now.
Andor looks to be the same. Like Andor, pretty.
Well, Andor looks way serious than the Mandalorian.
Really serious, dark.
Right.
I like the fact that they're not using the environment.
Yeah,
like they did with Boba
Fett. It looks real. Yeah,
it looks movie quality.
Yeah,
like these really crazy, outer space, these different planets and everything like that. It looks really good. Heaven forbid we see any more sand on a planet. We'll scream. But any types that we can visit than a sand planet. But
it's sand or snow.
Yeah, done with those. That's enough. There's enough. We can see all kinds of other planets. And but I am looking forward to Andor. That looked amazing. That trailer looks really good. I've watched it a bunch of times. So I'm really excited for that. But I'm liking She-Hulk. First episode, it's really, a lot of bending the humor because it's breaking the fourth wall, which is what the comics did. I like Tatiana Maslany's portrayal of her. I think it was great. I like the fact that they're keeping true. Like, she can change at will. So she's not really subject to the same problems that Bruce has with the Hulk and the sort of the controversy.
I felt that they kind of rushed the origin a little bit, but that's.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because we know the origin and they changed it just a shade.
Yeah,
transfusion. She just.
It kind of makes more sense now though because. Like, Bruce Banner's a pretty smart guy. He's not stupid enough to give somebody a blood transplant,
Yeah, I mean, that never made sense to me. Like, that's going to cause a problem. But if you do it on accident, then it's like, okay, I get it. I can buy into the fact that now she's a Hulk. But I like the fact that they hit the ground running. At the beginning of the show, you're like, she's already a Hulk. And she's like, all right, this is how it happened. Let's just get through this and get through the rest of the show.
And it was kind of random that a Sakarian spaceship attacks them and just leaves them and don't kill them.
You never see it again. Yeah, you never see them. You never see this Sakarian ship again. That was kind of weird. Like, it doesn't hunt them down or anything like that. They just kind of like all of a sudden they're at his bar. That was kind of strange.
How would they even find him? Really?
I mean, he's a big green Hulk, but how do they? But they have alien technology, so we can just write that off between scenes that they track him down. But I actually appreciate that they kind of blew through.
There was some talk online that scene seems to be like leading up to World War Hulk or something like that.
Yes, and I hope it does. Hopefully they get to World War Hulk.
Because I don't really want to see too much of Smart Hulk.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with Smart Hulk. I want to see Rage again, like we did in the first Hulk movie. Incredible Hulk. I would like to see that Hulk again.
I want to see Red Hulk. I want to see Raging Hulk.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Fix It.
Actually, I want Gray Hulk. That's what I want. Gray Hulk.
I want Gray Hulk. I want to see Red Hulk. I mean, with the
I don't know how we can do Red Hulk now since that actor's dead.
They can recast him.
Yeah,
they can recast him. I mean, I know they
should get Sam Elliott back.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would that be? I think he would replace him.
Although I think he got canceled in terms of Hollywood, I think, recently.
Probably.
Yeah.
Seems that old type of like, you know.
He said something about like something about a gay cowboy movie or something like that.
Yeah, he seems like the type. You know, he's always seemed like a nice guy, but kind of got old parts in the head.
Old school.
Yeah. Needs a few changes up there. It is what it is. So hopefully.
Well, he got an epic mustache. I gotta say that. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, you know, if they just turn him into Red Hulk, you know, who else? Anybody can play him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Make him Red Hulk, and you're good to go.
They kind of hinted at it because they said like, you know, this blood, you don't want to get into the wrong hands.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, they've been hinting at the fact that he was going to go Red Hulk.
Now,
of that movie, they have that movie coming up.
That villain, Titana, that the villain she fights in the show of Titana, like, I wonder how they're going to explain that.
I don't know, but it was great. She threw the desk at her, like, all right, I'm ready to rock and roll. Like, that was cool. I
mean, in the comic book, it's kind of a running joke because Titana always attacks her during a court case, and she gets killed. Destroyed within one punch every single time.
And she just keeps coming at it.
Just keeps coming. It's just random issues, and she just gets destroyed.
Yeah,
that's like a running theme joke in the books. You know? She just keeps coming back. So
there's that Marvel knowing what to do with their properties. This is something that happens through the books. So let's put it in the TV show.
But you know, she was created during Secret Wars with Dr. Doom.
Yeah,
gave her powers.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're just gonna make her a mutant.
I don't know. I mean, they got to get to Dr. Doom eventually, right?
Right.
No, his got to enter in eventually. I mean, there's still talks of him doing it during Black Panther, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I heard that there's going to be a lot of like guest cameos with like a lot of like lame D-list villains and heroes. I heard.
Yeah.
Including I heard the Wrecking Crew is going to show up.
Yeah, they have to get through everybody eventually. You know,
I heard that the Frogman is going to show up in the show.
I don't think we need that.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be too heavy, but it is a show about the She-Hulk.
Right.
Yeah, in the courtroom, how much can you?
She's going to be representing like superhero cases, so I think that's how they're going to introduce all these like Z-level heroes and villains. You know,
and then you can get, obviously we're going to get Matt Murdock in there. We get Daredevil in the yellow and red. That'll be super cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Like I said, this show has a lot of different ways to go. It was only a 7-minute show.
Yeah, so, well, I hope they keep the horny aspect of the character because she's always a horny little girl, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we haven't got to that stuff that was in the previews as well. So we'll get that.
I think she's shagged the Juggernaut, Thor, maybe Tony Stark.
So we got a long way to go with her, but I mean, it's good. I think it's a good diversion show. It doesn't have to be too hot and heavy. It doesn't have to be too.
They're trying to do a couple of political correctness things there, here and there,
Yeah, but it's to me, it's a fun popcorn show. I don't need to think too much about.
Right.
Too much about the continuity, but it'll be in there.
I don't think we'll see much of Bruce Banner after this episode, though.
No, and I'm okay with that because then it's just a Hulk show. Because then it's just a Hulk show if you do. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'm okay if he pops in again once or twice. I'm fine briefly. But I don't just see him very much because we saw him the whole first episode. I'm good.
Right. A couple of years ago, I think right after the first Avengers movie, the Marvel was working on a regular Hulk TV show with Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
And I think they even shot a pilot and they never released it.
No.
I wonder if we'll ever see that.
Yeah, I'm okay if we don't. I want a Hulk movie. I want a World War Hulk. I want something like that.
I don't know how they can do World War Hulk now, though. It's kind of like, how do you do that?
Easily, if it's Karian coming back down to find him, they can easily do that and throw that in there somewhere. There's a lot of stuff like, if you looked at Phase 5 and especially Phase 6, there's a lot of empty spots. There's a lot of empty when they announce it. There's a lot of empty timelines.
But like the main thing for World War Hulk was like he wanted revenge on the Illuminati for sending him to Sakaar.
Yeah.
Like who would you have him go against?
Why not the Illuminati?
There is no Illuminati.
Do we? Well, they can be. we did with the one from the other Earth is gone, but there could be one on our Earth we don't even know about yet.
I don't know.
There's a lot of characters we haven't seen, Wonder Man and all these other characters we haven't.
And another thing, everybody's acting as if Captain America is dead.
Well, did he die eventually? I mean, I don't know if he's dead yet.
No, I don't think he died.
He was old when we saw him.
They're acting as if he died.
Maybe he did, and we just didn't see the funeral because, and I'm not saying he did, but maybe we did because we see him at the end of Endgame and he hands Sam the shield.
Right,
but
he just walks away.
But then a lot of these shows are well after Endgame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't know.
He was old. Maybe he did. Maybe he finally did pass away.
And I don't know
if we ever got.
I think that would be a big thing to do his funeral.
It would be kind of weird if they skipped it. I think that would be really weird if they skip his funeral.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead though.
Or at least nod to it somehow. I think that would be kind of weird if they just ignored it together.
Maybe they'll cover it in the
maybe we'll
Captain
see the
America
new
movie.
Yeah, the New World Order. Yeah, maybe we'll catch it there.
Right.
You know, we had to do some kind of closure on that because that was not closure with him giving the same.
What do you think that New World Order is about?
I don't know. Does it tie into any kind of comic series that you know of that they did when Sam has the shield and he's Captain America?
The only NWO I know is from like wrestling.
I remember those days.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk went to
will show up.
He was Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You know, I haven't watched wrestling since then.
Yeah, no, that was about around the era where I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
On a regular basis, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got into other things.
I think as soon as when The Rock turned heel, and I think before John Cena came in, that's when I stopped too.
Yeah, I would. When The Rock kind of left to start doing movies, and then Stone Cold left because he just he's between the injuries and he's just getting up there in age. That's kind of when I stopped.
Yeah,
that was really my era. You know, I really liked those characters. That was not. I mean, that was my first era. My first era was
Hulk Hogan for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the original stuff with Steamboat and Randy, Savage and all that.
I still remember that fight between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Yeah, I saw that live not live. I was on TV on pay-per-view, but saw when it actually
Ultimate
happened.
Warrior, dude.
Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov and all those guys, Junkyard Dog and Roddy.
Yeah, that was when wrestling was like there was no political correctness, all stereotypes.
The characters were more ostentatious than they are now. Now it's like you're a punk, or you know what I mean, or you're just
they're not interesting to me. I don't know.
Not nearly as interesting because you're not going to get away with doing.
It was more comic booky back then,
Way more comic booky. Yeah. You're not going to get away with an.
It was like a cartoon, and they actually had a cartoon back in the day.
Yeah, the WWF Superstars Wrestling. I remember that. Yeah. You're not going to get like a Nikolai Volkov.
No,
you know what I'm saying.
Although that would be perfect now, though.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But an Iron Sheik,
no.
You know what I mean? Even a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, it's a little on the nose. It's a little not politically correct nowadays. But yeah, it's hard to get those kind of over the top, cartoony characters these days.
I want to see that Hulk Hogan biopic with Chris Hemsworth.
I didn't see that.
He's working on it right now.
Oh, I didn't know they were working on it.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth is going to play Hulk Hogan.
That makes sense. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Is it an authorized one or is it unauthorized?
I think it's an authorized one. Yeah. With
all right. So we should get some, real stuff in there.
He definitely got the body. I don't know how he's going to look with a bald cap on his head or something.
Yeah. I know, right? That'd be weird. I mean, not any worse than he did in Endgame.
Right, yeah.
Wicked out of shape, yeah.
I wonder if you'll see cameos of like other like wrestlers. I would want to see who's gonna play like Andre the Giant, or who will play like Ultimate Warrior or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I didn't even know they were working on that.
Who do you think they can get to play Andre the Giant now? They'll probably get some rando dude.
Yeah, they have to find some random dude, and who knows? They can just do a forced perspective. Just get some little dude and make him huge.
Right, yeah.
Make him look big. Who knows? But that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. So it's like it's not a documentary. It's more like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, kind of like the Elvis movie that just came out.
Basically it's his life story, I think.
Gotcha. So kind of like that Elvis movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I'll have to catch up to look out for that one. Awesome. So, anything else that you got geeking over there?
I'm geeking out over the Ninja Turtles video game. I don't know if you played that game.
No.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's basically a sequel to the original Turtle TV show.
Okay.
And the original Turtles arcade games.
Oh, I love the original one.
It's a continuation of Turtles in Time. I don't know if you played that game.
Yeah,
the arcade.
I did. Yeah, I did.
It's basically a continuation.
Hard, by the way.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I remember spending so many quarters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to check that. What do you play it on? PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm playing on the Switch right now.
Oh, Switch. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. Awesome. Cool.
You get to play 4 players, and you get to play as Casey Jones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. I love it. I haven't delved into it. I've been so out of the video game stuff. I still haven't finished. Not that you can finish Avengers, but I'm like 4 or 5 characters behind. They've dropped so many characters onto it. I have not picked up and started playing.
Yeah, they added a whole bunch of downloaded content.
Yeah, I haven't even turned it on. I think my kid turns my Xbox on more than I do. He likes the noise, and he likes it's on the.
Well, you see, the good thing about this Turtles video game, it's a button smasher, so the kids can just press buttons all day, and it'll be easy.
The problem is they just randomly press buttons and kick your ass. Meanwhile, you're like actual moves and real like power moves. So they're just like smashing. You're getting your ass handed to you. That's what happens to me. I'll spend hours playing a game. Somebody comes along and goes, "This is how you play?" And just smash. Like I'm dead. Just button smash myself and not spend my time. That's super aggravating. Awesome.
It was because of that game I started the video game podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you were telling me that. Yeah, 3 number 1s, 3 number 1 shows. If you have not checked out Raphael's shows on Good Pods or anywhere else, you got to check them out. 3 number 1 for both. So we have the Geeky Dad, Dad After Dark, and what's the name of the third show?
The Multiverse Kids Show.
It's the Multiverse. So that's your kids really take control of that one, which is really fun, by the way.
Yeah,
I love that. And then you go over video game stuff for the most part, right?
Yes.
Super cool.
Video game related stuff.
It's very cool.
Playing like video game movies and whatnot,
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, 3 number 1s on Good Pods. I love it. That's awesome. You guys are rocking it over there. I'm just clawing my way to the top, trying to claw my way to stay at number 5.
And I actually checked. I think we made the Apple charts 150 in the entertainment list. I think
in the US.
Yeah,
because I'm big in Brazil. So
that's so weird. I see like
huge
Netherlands and like some weird countries I don't even heard of.
Yeah, like, Brazil and India. I'm huge. I had no idea. Yeah,
I don't know how that stuff works.
I don't either, but that's okay. Somebody's listening. I'm okay with that.
I don't know if they're understanding what we're saying.
If we get up the charts, and they must be, coming back, right, and listening. Again. So I guess somebody's understanding what the hell I'm jabbering on about.
I think I read a review for one of your pods. Was it you?
Right? Probably a couple of new ones.
Somebody was saying like everybody's talking at the same time or something.
Yeah, that was the latest one we got. I forget the guy's name, but it was a good show, good content. But for the love of God, stop talking over each other.
That's the best part of the show.
I know, because it's a rant. I know, and he's not wrong. We definitely do that. We could probably do it less, but it's an honest discussion, and we just rant and everybody's gonna be heard. It's basically what our dinner tables always sounded like growing up.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear the person talk. I want to be heard, so I'm just gonna talk louder than you.
To me, the best episodes are the ones where you totally go off on some movie or character or actor.
Like time travel.
Yeah, those are my favorite episodes of yours.
When I get to it, I dig my heels in.
Right, when you dig your heels, especially when everybody digs their heels in at the same time.
Generally, it's Bruno and I. Like Bruno and I do the most digging at each other. Like we get hung up, but we got that it was 20 minutes on reboots.
Yeah,
remakes. Like with what's the point of reboots and remakes? I'm like, dude, it's money. It's just all money.
It's all money.
That's the only point of it. There's no other point.
Most of the time, it's always a failure. I don't understand.
They haven't learned the lesson. They generally suck.
Very few.
If they're making money, even if it's $1, that's $1 more they made, right?
Right, yeah.
If their budget's one thing and they far succeed it, including all their advertising.
A lot of times they do it just to keep the IP going too,
Sure, we know the Spider-Man, for Sony kept remaking Spider-Man movies simply so they wouldn't lose the license to Spider-Man. Even though some of the, the Andrew Garfield ones weren't super strong, they're like, oh, we got to do another one. Because, then they reboot it because they don't want to lose the license.
I think that's why Sony's doing all these dumb spin-offs too.
Yeah, so they don't lose the Spider-Man license.
Right.
So they keep it because, God forbid, it goes back to Marvel and Disney and we can get them out of the mix and stuff screwing everything up.
Right, yeah.
But they won't let that happen because they also make a lot of money off the game and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Which is super aggravating because it's
toys too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Actually, no, that's not necessarily true. I think Disney and Marvel still own the rights to the toys.
Okay, because I think toys is really where the money is.
Yeah, they own the video game rights and they own the movie rights and things like that. I don't think the toys.
Not the television rights. Seems.
No, I don't think the television stuff either. I think that stuff was always on like Disney XD and stuff like that.
Right, because they're doing a new Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah,
on
that was
Disney
on Disney.
Plus.
Yeah, and it was on Disney XD when it was on actual television.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's just.
I don't know who was writing these contracts with Sony. They didn't really think it out.
Well, Dan Lee and the group did it when Marvel was about to go bankrupt and need to sell off a whole bunch of stuff or sell off some rights to some things. So
I would have got all the rights. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sony doesn't want to give them up. They're not going to give them up. You know what I mean? Even though Disney has the Brinks truck to back up to their door, if Sony feels like they're going to make more money by keeping it and keep pumping out the video games and the movies, then now that Marvel's kind of helping them, both taking, putting their hand in the till.
That's why I was kind of surprised when I saw Namor in Black Panther because I thought he was also owned by another company. I think
he was
Paramount or something like that.
No, I think he was Fox. He was a mutant. He's classified as a mutant.
Okay.
So that's so since Fox is now brought up Disney, they can have all the mutants, including Namor and the X-Men and everybody like that. Yeah, he was a mutant. So he was definitely.
What's your opinion on that movie, by the way? Because I didn't think you talked about that much. Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. I'm not super stoked with the changes to Namor, but I think I'm going to wait and see. His origin stuff like that's a little different. But
I think they had to do that because of Aquaman. They didn't want to copy it.
Yeah, they can't do Atlantis because that's already been done.
But I'm afraid that with all the blue people running around, they're gonna have like Avatar.
It does look
comparison.
A little. I mean, I'm not really happy about that because I'm not really a big Avatar movie fan.
Right.
But the Avatar movies, so I don't know. What do you think? Do you like them?
It's okay, but the thing I'm worried about is like how are they gonna even portray the death of Black Panther? Is it gonna be off screen?
They had pictures of him on the wall and things like that.
Are they gonna show the death, or are they just gonna say it happened off screen?
It sounded like it, just from what it seems, it sounds like it's happened off screen.
Which would be they're
memorializing him throughout the movie.
If I was doing this movie, I would have set this movie during the time of the blip where T'Challa actually died.
Yeah. But it's got to tie into the future. Like they got to.
But the thing is, Black Widow didn't tie into the future that much.
No, not at all. But it was prior to Endgame, prior to Infinity War.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, this is
years too late.
This is a country that lost their leader 5 years ago, and then lose their leader again. Mm-hmm. So they should not be that mournful because it already happened. You know what I'm saying?
It's a pretty big.
They should be used to having no leader.
No, they're gonna need a leader, and then they get attacked again. Then the Atlanteans or the whatever they are.
Like who was the Black Panther when he was gone during that time?
Well, I mean, I imagine they're gonna whoever it is now, right? I think Shuri probably takes up the mantle right away.
No, during the blip. I mean.
Oh, during the blip.
Was there a Black Panther?
That's a good. Maybe they didn't have one at that time.
Right. And why didn't Namor attack then? When
maybe he was gone during the blip.
I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I got to see the movie to see, but
I am looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be interesting. I love the first one. I think they'll do right by the second one.
I still think they should have recasted
together.
Yeah,
I do too, but we'll see. maybe they'll do something amazing, and we won't really sort of skip a beat on the fact that we're gonna miss him, right?
Right.
We'll miss Chadwick Boseman, but the character, if they do right by this new one, and whoever becomes Black Panther, I'm sure it's gonna be Shuri, but whatever. I mean, that's the way it was in the comics, and they're pretty good about following with the comics. So I definitely don't want it to be Killmonger. We don't want him.
Right.
That would be a huge misstep if they do it that way. But I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to bring Namor in, and
that'd be funny if they bring back. He takes off the mask as Terrence Howard.
Who let him back in? Who let that idiot back into the sandbox? Oh, no way. So
it wouldn't be the first, recast, right?
No, definitely not. But we don't need him recast into anything.
No.
Anything we need now. Thank God he's gone. But because I like Don Cheadle's version much better anyway.
Although I feel like Don Cheadle is too much of a scrawny guy to play Rhodey. I know
he's in the suit. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? He's in the suit.
But Rhodey was always like, this big military tough guy, I always thought,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I understand.
I thought Wesley Snipes would be a perfect Rhodey.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see him come back as Blade, even just in the multiverse. You know what I mean? Like,
by the way, did you see Day Shift?
I don't think so.
It just came out on Netflix.
Then no.
It's a vampire movie with Jamie Foxx.
Definitely not. I saw the previews when I was on the plane. That's why
it has some insane fight choreography in this, like insane. I wish they got the fight team on this to do Blade.
Is it a series or is it just a one-off movie?
It's a one-off movie, but like the type of fights that they do, like the moves, it's crazy. Because they got like contortionists in the movie, and like the vampires are twisting the whole bodies around super fast and all this. Yeah.
Interesting.
It feels like that's how a Blade movie should be.
I'm going to add that to the list with Sandman. Okay. Yeah, a lot of stuff to catch up on in between all this Marvel and Star Wars and everything like that. Even though we're kind of in like a lull, we just have She-Hulk and waiting on Andor.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a lull on the show too, so I got to come up with like content.
Yeah, that's all right. There's still plenty of stuff, but we do in our shows. We like to go over old stuff too. So
that's what we're doing too. Yeah.
So it's okay because there's always plenty of content out there.
And I got I got a whole bunch of like interviews. Like I hold off during the lulls.
Yeah.
So I just bring them out and put them in between.
We have coming up on our show. What do we have coming up? So I've already done. We did our Thor.
Right.
We ripped through Indiana Jones 4.
I hope you guys really ripped Thor a new one.
Oh yeah, Thor. We did a good job on Thor. Yeah, we it was liked but not loved because it's just way too funny. It's way too comic.
Did you what you should do? You should do like rip into some of the older Marvel movies.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing this stuff. I think coming up, we're gonna be recording a Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
Bullet Train. Obviously, we're gonna do some Andor and some more She-Hulk because by then, when we do our next big day long record, there'll be a lot of it out, so we'll be able to see more of it.
You should do some of the really bad ones,
we'll get into those. We're gonna get into
the first Punisher movie, like from the Dolph Lundgren one.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. What would be the first Captain America movie?
Yeah, I did that with the 3 Geeky Dads.
No, I'm talking about the one with Christopher. What's that guy? Count Dooku. The one with Count Dooku. Christopher Lee. The one with Christopher Lee.
Oh, the old 70s TV show.
Yeah.
Motorcycle and the blue.
That was bad.
It was bad, but it was not as bad as the movie version with the Italian Red Skull.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, it was at a time when everything was like that. You know what I mean? Everything was.
It's a good movie. I want to
a little bit.
I kind of want my kids to watch, just to have their opinions on it. The Incredible Hulk movie with Thor. Yeah. I would love to see their opinions on that.
Yeah, there's a good documentary on that, on the Hulk.
Yes, I saw that one. That was nice.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so if anybody hasn't seen it, I'd recommend it. If you like the Hulk stuff, go watch the documentary on it. You can find it on YouTube. That's where I watched it. So, all right. All right, my friend, we did it on an hour and 10.
Yeah, we only talked 5 minutes about it.
No, we got a lot done on Prey. We were on Prey for at least a half hour.
Yeah,
we did good. We bounced back and forth, and I think that we did a good job. So I want to thank you for being on the show again, as always. Definitely check out Raphael on the Geeky Dad Podcast, the Geeky Dad After Dark, and the Multiverse Kids, where he has a little bit of a role, but his kids take over the show, which I think is awesome, playing on video games. You can catch him anywhere podcasts are found. He's a big fan of the Good Pods platform, which is awesome. But obviously you can catch him anywhere. Anything else you want to chat about before we let people know where to find you, what you're up to these days? I know you got a bunch of interviews coming up and stuff like that. You're a king at doing interviews these days.
I got a couple of interviews coming up. I also am going to be guesting on a couple of shows soon. So, yeah. You're going to get sick of me sooner or later. You know? Never a chance.
So, yeah, check them out and look for them everywhere that the Geeky Dad podcast can be found, ladies and gentlemen. We are Entertainment Rants, entertainmentrants.com. You can find us on every podcast platform that you like. You can check us out on our website, entertainmentrants.com, and all of our social media at Entertainment Rants. I want you guys to go out there and, what we do, we keep ranting. All right? Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.